I'm sure you guys remember at the end of that zombie monster video I did a couple days ago, I mentioned that there was a new structure deck coming out in a couple weeks. However, I was wrong. The structure deck actually came out this past Thursday, so I thought we'd open it on today's video. I've actually had like way too many pack openings in a row. I know you guys aren't a huge fan of those. That's kind of all just like coincidence. I didn't realize the advent calendar was coming out so soon. I didn't realize this was coming out so soon. So expect some discussion videos and gameplay videos coming up. I'll take a break from the pack openings. Anyway, the Zombie Horde structure deck just came out, and it's really cool, actually. There's a lot of fantastic reprints. I'll cover it so that it's a surprise when we get there. Stock up on food and block all the entrances. The Zombie Horde is coming. Structure deck Zombie Horde builds upon the all-encompassing power of the Zombie World field spell to create duels where zombies reign supreme. The scariest thing about a Zombie Horde is that its sole purpose is to make you join it. So if you know anything about the Zombie World field spell and the playstyle surrounding it, the basic idea is that you're using your opponent's monsters for your own win condition. You're basically stealing your opponent's monsters, and this is something that was first started when Zombie World came out in that Zombie World structure deck way back in the day, about 10 years ago now, right? Didn't it come out like 2008 or 2009? Man, that's crazy. Time flies. But anyway, that old structure deck, which I remember getting because it had a bunch of fantastic reprints, is now being, this is like the spiritual successor to it, or I guess it's not even the spiritual successor, it's just a successor, and it's really cool, actually. So I know some of the reprints in here, but I don't know all the reprints. As usual, when it comes to new Yu-Gi-Oh product, I try not to look too much into what's reprinted in the set, just so I'm surprised when it actually comes out. I know a lot of people, especially budget players, you want to know like what's getting reprinted so you don't accidentally buy something. I know that like Shared Ride is in here, I believe. That's like, other than that though, I didn't really look too much. Like I always say, I mean, I'm not going to dwell on it too much. They only give you beginner's guides nowadays. They don't actually give you the real rule book. You can only get that online. So if you want to know more complicated stuff, good luck with that. And then we have the playmat, and this used to be two separate things, I believe. Maybe it wasn't. I don't even know. But now we have the playmat. It's upside down. Whoops. So we have the playmat. There's some dude on there. There's some person on there. And then on the back, we have my favorite part, which is when they tell you the suggested combos. And look at how crazy it is. And then they tell you what to buy. Some of the funnier stuff. Yeah, I mean, the Legendary Hero deck's probably pretty good. Wee Witch Apprentice is pretty good. I don't know about Trap Trick or these cards, but it's a little weird. Then Hidden Summoners. So all that kind of stuff. I used to remember when I was a kid that being very valuable, actually, even though you obviously won't pull the cards from those sets just by buying a couple packs. They want you to buy a ton of them. As far as the cards that I've read that are new from this set, I mean, first off, we do know that these cards aren't that great. I mean, I don't know. It's always hard because in the OCG format, it's so different than ours, but in the OCG, these cards have not been very successful. I have read the main deck monsters. I have not read the Synchro, and I have not read the spell cards, which I believe there are two of. We got the Duel Links advertisement. Don't play Duel Links, so trust me. Red Eyes Zombie Necro Dragon. So it's a level 7 Synchro monster. It's generic too. Gains 100 attack and defense for each zombie monster on the field and in the graveyard. So obviously you're not only gaining it off of your own cards, but off of your opponents as well when you have Zombie World on the field. When another zombie monster is destroyed by battle, you can touch summon one zombie monster from either graveyard to your side of the field. Oh, that's cool. Wow, it's actually really cool because you could even run something over and then special summon something, and it's only once per turn. That's actually kind of a cool card. Maybe we'll end up playing this. Then we have Tatsuneko instead of Tatsunoko. This is basically just Tatsunoko, but it's in a monster card form. I think that's a pretty cool idea. This is something that we saw a couple times. There are a few cards that use the cards in your hand to synchro summon. I wish we would have saw more of that, so it's cool that we're getting that card. And then we have Doom King Ballardroch. I don't know, it must be like a German word. I'm adding this in post-production because when I first opened this, I focused on like how weird this card looked on camera, but I really should have read the effect because it's actually very powerful and it combos really nicely with the Glow Up Bulb retrain that was in the structure deck. So this card is actually very good, and I plan on playing it in a couple decks later on live streams. And then we have Necro World Banshee, which revolves all around Zombie World and getting it to the board. And then when it's on the field, it protects your Zombie World, so it's pretty cool. And then Glow Up Bloom, which is obviously a Glow Up Bulb. It's zombie form. This card's really cool looking. As far as its effect, not like the best card. If this card is sent to the graveyard, you can banish this card from your graveyard, add one level 5 or higher zombie monster from your deck to your hand, or if Zombie World is in the field zone, you can special summon it from the deck instead. In either case, you cannot special summon monsters for this turn except zombie monsters, and it's once per turn. I mean, it's cool. Obviously, the goal with this card is to activate it when you do have that Zombie World on the board. Otherwise, it's not too powerful. So that's it for the holographic cards. We'll go through some of these older cards as well. So we have Kasha, Red Eye Zombie Dragon, very cool. Malevolent Mech Goku N, Endless Decay, oh my gosh. What a funny card. That's actually played a couple times. Paladin of Cursed Dragon, Immortal Ruler. Oh, it's like, I always forget that this card doesn't discard itself to search Zombie World. That'd be way better. Zombie Master, really good card. Tristan, Knight of the Underworld, which, does that mean it have Beatrice as well? Wasn't there like a Beatrice card that was one of these? I don't know. Is this a new card? I don't even know. I never know. Mizuki, really good. Gozuki, very good. And I believe Shooting Doji. This card just got revealed in Duel Links. Pyramid Turtle, awesome. Love Pyramid Turtle. Goblin Zombie, which we just talked about. Oh, I should mention real quick. Oh, it's not that. There's not a Beatrice as in Isolde. I should mention in the Goblin Zombie discussion on that zombie video, I mentioned that like you can use this for link summoning and get searches. A couple of people didn't know how that worked because it's a when effect, so people thought it missed timing. Goblin Zombie is actually not optional. You have to get the search. And in the case of non-optional effects, otherwise known as mandatory effects, it doesn't matter if they like are going to miss timing, they have to activate. So that's when you look at cards like Dupe Fog or Light Pulsar Dragon, they're optional when effects, so it says when you can, unlike Goblin Zombie. So that's why Goblin Zombie works. So we have Isolde, Belle of the Underworld, Shiranui Solitaire, very cool. Looks really weird as a common, but that's cool reprint. Unizombie, awesome. I like, I should mention, one of the reasons, there's no Plague Spreader Zombie, which sucks. I like Plague Spreader Zombie a lot. One of the cool things, though, is that because there is a Synchro included in this deck, you can actually, they give us Unizombie. If there wasn't a Synchro, they probably wouldn't have given us this card, so that's cool. Marionette Might, Beast of the Pharaoh, there's been some pretty crazy combos with that. Scapegoat, which I should have given a shout out to in that zombie video, but whatever. So that's it for the monsters. Actually, a lot of good monsters. So these new spells I've not read. So we have Zombie Necronize. If a level 5 or higher zombie monster is on the field, target one monster your opponent controls, take control until the end phase. So it's kind of like Change of the Heart. It actually is literally Change of the Heart. During your main phase, if this card is in your graveyard, you can shuffle one of your banished zombie monsters into the deck. And if you do set this card, we banish it. Oh, that's actually really cool. So why isn't this deck played? I guess it just doesn't have like a lot of first turn plays. I don't know. These cards actually seem pretty interesting. Especially this Synchro and Glow Up Bloom. I guess the Glow Up Bloom doesn't have a lot to special summon except for this guy and then a Red Eyed Zombie Dragon. Interesting. This card seems really crazy though. I don't know. Maybe I'll have to play around with this stuff. Target one zombie monster on the field until the end of this turn. It gains 1,000 attack or loses 1,000 attack. Okay. So you can use it on your opponent's monsters too. During your main phase, if this card's in your graveyard, shuffle one your banish. Oh, same effect. Oh, that's kind of neat. I mean, this one's clearly infinitely better, but I guess it's whatever. And then the actual Zombie World, which only gives us one of, kind of strange. Overpowering Eye, which is surprisingly, if you look at the name, this card is actually very underpowered. It's very bad. Book of Life, awesome card. Call of the Mummy, great. Foolish Bear, that's cool. Monster Gate, which would probably be good. Drag Down, Burial from a Different Dimension, Shared Ride as a common, which pretty crazy. This card's actually really popular right now. Maybe a little less popular now that the world is being taken over by Danger Dark World FTK. But before that, this card was really popular. Like at the 200th YCS, a lot of people played Shared Ride. Return of the Zombie. So it's a trap card. There's a lot of new cards. Holy crap. There's, what, 8 new cards? Man, new structure decks are crazy. You guys remember, I mean, I reviewed all those old structure decks. They would only get 1 new card per structure deck. It was just the cover card. Crazy. Banish 1 zombie monster in the field and touch summon 1 zombie monster from the graveyard of the player who controlled it to their field in defense position. That really makes this card really bad because you can't banish your opponent's monster and then summon your own monster. That's rough. If this card is in your graveyard, you can shuffle one. Oh, so they all have that effect, so you can keep reusing them. Gives extra value out of all those. Haunted Shrine. If you control no monsters, target 1 zombie monster in your graveyard, special summon it. Oh, okay. If you control no monsters, you can banish this card. Oh, this must be new as well. I've never seen that card in my life. Trap of the Imperial Tomb. Classic card. really old card actually. Needlebug Nest, Metaverse. Oh my gosh, that's amazing. Remember how much money I just spent to get that one copy of Metaverse for the last YCS? I spent $80 on it. That's crazy. Could have just bought a structure deck. Could have gone in the future. Anti-spell fragments. Holy crap, I didn't know that was in there. Masker. Whoa! What just happened? Look at all these crazy good reprints. Those last 3 trap cards really kicked it up a notch. Oh my gosh. Those are really good reprints. Overall, I'm actually really impressed with these cards. I don't know why. I guess there's just like not enough first turn plays, and every deck needs first turn plays. But I feel like you could play zombies right now. I don't know. Am I just what am I missing here? I guess what I'm missing is that, like, I don't know, Zombie World itself isn't that good right now. It doesn't really do anything against any of the top decks, and this really cool Synchro Monster doesn't do anything unless you have Zombie World on the board. That's probably like the problem, is that all these cards aren't very good without Zombie World, and Zombie World isn't really that great against the metagame right now, so that's probably the biggest issue with this deck. But I don't know, let me know what you guys think about these new cards. They are a lot better than I thought they were, particularly the Change of Heart is ridiculous. This card seems crazy. It's literally a double Change of Heart if you control a 5 or higher zombie monster, which I think is extremely possible. I think that's not that difficult to do. You can do it with synchros as well. But let me know what you guys think about this deck profile, or what this deck profile. Let me know what you guys think of this structure deck. I think these cards are pretty cool. I think the zombie structure decks in particular have always been fairly decent. The last one, the Zombie World one, had a lot of great reprints as well. This one has more modern reprints for zombie players, but I think it's a really cool item. Looks like we have a lot of really great items for budget players and new players. Like, this structure deck looks pretty good. The Legendary Hero deck's really good. The Advent Calendar is really good. Lots of cool stuff for new players, which I think is really awesome for the holiday season. Anyway, though, hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. I'll see you later. Thank you so much for watching. Goodbye.